Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Today, I am going to be talking to you more about if you are a person that struggles with food binges, emotional eating, then you're going to want to pay attention. Talking about how to say no to food binges and get healthier with cauliflower leaves. So, if you're looking for a way to curb your food binges, cauliflower leaves are a great way to do that. They are low in calories, they're high in nutrients, and this makes them a perfect addition to any diet. You will love how versatile cauliflower leaves are. They can be eaten cooked, they can be eaten raw, and they make a really great addition to any meal. So hang out with us for this episode of the Dr. Grant Show and learn how to add cauliflower leaves to your diet. Today I'll be making 3 dishes: Mexican lime shrimp wrap, 2 ways, and a hot honey cauliflower leaf salad. I am very excited. Let's go. All right, so for our main ingredients, you want to pick your protein of choice. I am pescatarian, so that means that the only meat that I eat when I do eat meat is fish. So in this instance, I have some shrimp here that was previously frozen in order to save time. It also has the tail removed also to save time. and it's already pre-cooked. Now, the secret to working with frozen shrimp and unthawing it and cooking with frozen shrimp is to cut your cooking time down. The second secret to making your frozen shrimp, or if you're cooking with anything frozen for that matter, in order to make it more flavorful, that will rival your favorite go-to restaurant, is the pre-season. Now, pre-seasoning does not have to be this massive, complex adventure that takes forever. You can utilize pre-seasoning just by seasoning it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour ahead of time. So choose your protein of choice. If you are not pescatarian like myself, meaning that you might be like my husband who says he is a vegan, meaning when are we going to eat again, meaning that you'll eat anything, chicken, pork, beef, then just pick your favorite protein of choice. If you are vegetarian or vegan, since I do probably say about 80% of my diet floats in that direction, then what you'll want to actually do is use tofu. You can use tofu, you can use, I believe it's called temp, you can also use seitan. So any one of those things as your protein substitute would work marvelously. Next, I'm elated. Cauliflower leaves. They are our main ingredients in this dish. Now, for those of you that are wondering why and how in the world did I get started on the idea of cauliflower leaves, I have something exciting to tell you. Well, funny actually to tell you. I do not have a green thumb, and that's why these cauliflower leaves are so significant for me. I have a garden in my backyard, and I also have a arrow garden as well. My husband gave me the arrow garden last year. The reason why this is so significant, and oh, by the way, why you should care if you're a person that food binges, emotionally eats, struggles with food addiction, or you're trying to lose weight, is I have killed 7, yes, 7 cactuses. I don't know how, I don't know why. So let's suffice to say, I did not have a green thumb. But I was very interested, especially being a mom and a wife. I wanted to make it easier for our children to become more interested willingly without blowing a dart gun at them to get them to eat their vegetables. Can anyone relate? So my husband gave me the arrow garden, and I was skeptical, and things started to grow. All sorts of wonderful herbs, all sorts of wonderful fruits. Sorry, vegetables. So then I said, what would happen if we plant a garden outside? So my husband built me a garden, an elevated garden. So then that way the local wildlife that we have out here, since we're kind of rural, don't think that we just grew them buffet. And a funny thing happened. It started growing. It actually started growing. We have planted cauliflower. We've planted blueberries, blackberries, also, what is that? Peppers, the big banana peppers, a plethora of other things, lavender as well, which is absolutely amazing. And out of curiosity, I started looking at the cauliflower leaves because they were so big and they were fighting also with the tomatoes. Once they start growing, they just all of a sudden seem to be supersized in terms of how rapidly they grow. And although I'm still waiting for my cauliflower itself to grow big enough to eat, the cauliflower leaves here, they're plenty big. So I began to wonder, are cauliflower leaves edible? And if so, are they difficult to cook? And if so, how do you cook them? Now, as a person that struggles with the symptoms of food addiction, and I always say I'm in active recovery, I'm always looking for ways to make sure that I stay ahead of and on top of my triggers. The same thing goes for my clients in my digital wellness practice. We always are working to make sure, because your triggers, they can easily change based on what's going on in your life, for what point, what chapter, and what stage you are in your life. So this is the reason why diets don't work. We're never addressing the psychology, not adequately. Visualization, positive affirmations are lovely, but they're still not getting into the subconscious mind. In my digital wellness practice, what we do when we work with people that are food addicts, stressed emotional eaters, stress eaters, or people trying to lose weight, is we actually get into the subconscious mind and learning about what are your triggers for this point, chapter, and stage of your life. Let's get to the root of the problem. Let's prune that neurological attachment and energetic attachment that you have. Now, once we finish that first phase, phase number 2 is getting into the food. Phase number 3 of this method is getting into the fitness. And this way you have a all-in-one, total, holistic solution where you don't have to kill yourself with all these fad diets. You don't have to kill yourself with actually trying to piece together and figure out the nutrition portion of it and the food portion of it, because we're not just serving you the recipes, we're doing like what we're doing right here, your virtual cooking classes side by side using ingredients that you like. And of course, we can never forget the sound baths. For those of you that are wondering, wait a minute, she did sound baths. Where are my sound baths? They're still there. They're still coming up in another episode. But I did want to show you the other side of the wellness practice, because this show is designed to give people that are stress eaters, food addicts, people that binge, people that are struggling with food cravings, people that try to lose weight. You need a scientific and reliable source of information to set your feet on the right path so that you can learn how to stop binging and find and reconnect with peace. As you join our show, feel free to type in the chat. And if you have questions that maybe you're a little bit too concerned with, maybe you feel a wee bit bashful about chatting about it here, feel free right here. My number is featured right there. You can send me a text message or a DM. Either one is perfectly fine. So let's get into this cabbage leaf, shall we? Sorry, not cabbage, cauliflower leaf. So I'm going to prepare for you today three dishes. I have the raw cauliflower leaf here, and as you can see, I'm going to bring this a wee bit closer to the camera. And as you can see, it's very big. This was grown in my garden, and it's without pesticides. If you choose to grab a cauliflower leaf or grab a head of fresh cauliflower from your local supermarket, and if it is not organic, then you're going to want to make sure as your first step to wash and rinse it thoroughly. Look for some form of vegetable wash, because cauliflower leaves are highly absorbent. Bright side is they absorb whatever flavors you put on them. the not so bright side is they can also absorb certain pesticides and chemicals that were used to, of course, retard and keep certain bugs and certain mold growths, things of that nature, off of them. So this was organically grown in my garden. So I didn't really have to worry about the pesticide portion. But nevertheless, you want to, first step, grab your cauliflower leaf, rinse it quite thoroughly. This is what it looks like. And this is why I thought it would be perfect for a wrap and a salad. Now, what does it taste? What does it taste like? If you've ever had kale or maybe even a very mild collard green, so to speak, or spinach, it's almost like a cross between those. Some people say it tastes like cauliflower. I won't say that exactly. It's just very mild in terms of its taste. And because it has such a firm texture, I figured it's perfect for making a wrap. This, what you're seeing here, this is me after I've baked this. So these are cauliflower leaves that have been baked in the oven at 350 degrees. So I seasoned these. This is remarkably easy. So I'm giving you several ways that you can prepare this. You can get a big leaf raw. That's step number one, option number one. And you can take your favorite protein of choice and maybe some rice or something and wrap it. And then you have yourself a nice portable, low carb, no carb for those people that are on the keto bus option here. If we take the rice away, then you can take that along with your protein of choice and voila, there you go, because you don't have to roll it in a flour tortilla. Option number two, in terms of working with cauliflower leaves, is you can lay them out on a sheet pan, drizzle them with extra virgin olive oil, and simply season them with salt and pepper or whatever seasonings that you like. Bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes or until the leaves begin to look like they are kind of lying down and looking like they're softer. And then take them out the oven and let them cool off and then just pack them away. Option number three, in terms of preparing cauliflower leaves, you can treat it like a salad. So I'm going to bring this, hopefully you guys can see. Trying to bring it close enough to the camera so you guys can see it, okay? You can cut up your cauliflower leaves and then season them and marinate them overnight in apple cider vinegar, maybe about a fourth of a cup to half a cup, depending upon how many cauliflower leaves you have. Eyeball this one. And I love to use a very special ingredient that's not commonly used, hot honey. Now, I have two brands of hot honey that I like to work with, and I'm still experimenting. But what's fun is everyone's formulation of hot honey is different. So enjoy, take an opportunity to play around with it. And then I season that salad with just salt and pepper. And that's it, because what I wanted in this case, and going back to if you food binge, the why you should care factor and how to scratch that itch, I put the hot honey in there to give me a little bit of sweet. So some of the problems and some of the challenges in my digital wellness practice that people that I work with experience is trying to manage their food cravings. And the first key, after we find out psychologically speaking why and what the root is of the craving, then we start getting into the granular operations of it. Are your cravings more on the side of sweet or are they more on the side of savory? These approaches fix that. So if you are team sweet, nothing wrong with that if you are, you need something that's going to fix your problem without causing you to binge and without eating and ingesting tons of things that are not good for you, that were not according to your plan, and that don't help you move closer to your health goals. And this scratches that itch with the hot honey. At the same time, the cauliflower leaves are nutritious, chock full of vitamins and nutrition and crucial enzymes, and most importantly, they're very filling. So you're getting the benefit of all of this, and it tastes delicious. See, that's the thing. People imagine that eating healthier means they're going to miss out on their favorite foods and be stuck with bland foods. You don't have to deal with that at all. And that's what I enjoy about the food phase when we work through our wellness program and that method. The psychology, the food, and the fitness all wrapped up in one. So you don't have to think about it, you don't have to piece anything together, and it's customized to you. The final ingredient that I want to show you from my garden also are chives. These are freshly grown. Highly recommend that you guys go out and try to grab some chives and try to grow them. I've heard you can even grow them indoors. These were grown outdoors, completely organic once again. And they keep well, so you can trim them, and I think they keep up for a week if you put them in water, just like you see here. So you can see this is nice, this is long. For those of you that are unfamiliar with chives, they are similar to an onion and gives a really nice flavor. So instead of relying for your kick to your seasonings and flavorings, onion powder, onion salt, try chives as an alternative. Once again, when you try fresh chives, you get that extra infusion of vitamins, extra infusion of crucial enzymes that your body so desperately needs and craves. All right, so now let's get into the cooking part of the segment, shall we? All right, so I'm going to start by chopping up some of these chives for you. I've already rinsed these. Well, I won't say I did. Hubby already rinsed these off. Okay. And you can just grab whatever works for you. I like to line them up just like so. All right. And I'm just going to chop up a few chives for this, and you'll see what I'm going to do in a moment. So as you can see, I'm just taking the knife. I'm chopping these up. Not too small, not too big. I'm doing this with you in real time so you can see, since this show is live, so you can see how easy this is and how little time cooking something from home, because that's another key here. When you cook stuff from home, I want to lessen that intimidation factor. Now, I have the pleasure of having a chef at a restaurant. Love him. Actually take me back in the kitchen to lower my intimidation level with cooking certain cuisine that I found very intimidating. And that's where I got the idea from for helping people in my digital wellness practice. That look, instead of me throwing you a recipe, how many of us have recipe books? How many times have we been on like Pinterest and we saved recipes and said, oh, we're going to so do that. We're still going to do that. And it's still sitting there. So if I show you step by step, side by side, so these are the chives cut up. You see that took me less than like, how many seconds did it take for me to do that? Once again, use your protein of choice. I am pescatarian, so you'll always find me either showing you a vegetarian, vegan, or pescatarian, meaning fish option, but you can use your protein of choice. These have already just been seasoned up with Mexican seasoning. Take the shortcut. You could put Mexican seasoning all together yourself and get that lovely savory taste, or just go to your local store and get a thing that says Mexican seasoning. Just make sure it doesn't contain MSG or high fructose corn syrup. That's the only provision that we have in my practice here. Okay. So Mexican seasoning, I just went ahead and grabbed it and I sprinkled it on here. So now I'm going to take you on over to the cooking part here. We're going to fire up the stovetop and you're going to just see this whole entire thing to come together. Hold on. What help if I have the attachment, huh? So I am taking you with me. Trying to make sure I don't drop our lovely tablet here. Hi. All right, so I have you with me? Yeah? Okay, cool. So now I can move you over here.